Hey gang, it's JC and this is the Daily Dose for Monday, June 27th, 2011, a combined venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. Great television archives, top of the page, our eye candy feature right along the bottom, and of course, the rock and roll poll over in the corner. Let's kick off right there, as a matter of fact, because our question had to do with the Gay Pride Parade that took place here in St. Louis over the weekend. What do you think of the Gay Pride Parade here in St. Louis? I have no problem with it, 61%. I have a big problem with it, 18%. I am somewhere in the middle on it, 14%, and I'll be in the parade, 8%. Thank you for your responses. Today's question. We wanted to do something interesting for a Monday, something thought-provoking, something that is just saturated in intelligentsia. And so we came up with this one. Would you rather, you have two choices, A or B. Would you rather be buried up to your neck in sand, have your head shaved, and painted like a soccer ball, or have your eyelids stretched out and then punched with a paper punch? Your responses, please, in the corner right there. We'll give you the results tomorrow. Like I said, we wanted something special today. I am having a garage sale here at the house on Saturday. You're invited. I'll be spilling the beans, giving you all the information you need on Thursday's edition of the Daily Dose here at jcontheline.com. This is no joke. We are cleaning out tons and tons of stuff. It's, I've only been to a handful, and I mean like maybe 3 or 4 garage sales, and I haven't really liked any of them because it seems like people are just unloading junk. In our particular case, I guess you're supposed to call it an estate sale if it's not really just junk from your garage in your basement, but this isn't really that either. But I'm telling you, I have some good stuff. And on Thursday's edition of the Daily Dose, by the way, I'm going to show you some of the stuff that is going to be for sale at my garage sale on Saturday right here at the house. We are going to tell you where I live, and there's a long story to this, but this is no joke. And some one-of-a-kind items. I got a Beldar Conehead tie, for God's sakes. And we have some furniture and stuff like that, some typical things. We got a futon, really nice futon, by the way. And then just a lot of books and things like that, some one-of-a-kind items, and I'll give you the details Thursday right here at jcontheline.com. But we're going to have the garage sale, I think it's from 8 in the morning until 1 on Saturday. And like I said, come on back on Thursday, I'll give you all the details. No joke, I promise you, this is not a joke. 62 cars with their windows busted out near Busch Stadium the other night. Considering how lame the Cards' offense has been lately, it's just nice to see somebody that can swing a bat with authority in this town. All right, on Friday night, Governor Andrew Cuomo in New York signed a law legalizing gay marriage in the state of New York. Gays swarmed the streets of Manhattan. They were dancing, they were singing, they were cheering, many of them having sex, and then they found out that gay marriage was approved. The annual list of the top brands that will disappear in the coming year is out. Unfortunately, Russell Brand, not one of them. This story has gone national. Next month, supposed to have this dedication of the Chuck Berry statue in the U City Loop. There is an 86-year-old woman, a former legislator or city official in U City, that is trying to block this whole thing. The story has gone national. You may know that back in 1962, Chuck Berry was found in violation of the Mann Act, which is interesting because it usually has more to do with women. But basically, the Mann Act forbids the transporting of a woman across state lines for immoral behavior. And, the general purpose really was to protect women against indentured slavery and prostitution and stuff like that. Chuck, was found guilty, 14-year-old girl. He did his time for that and for tax evasion and all that sort of stuff. And this is 50 years ago. 50 years ago. Isn't this statute of limitations just sort of run out on the whole thing? They all do it. They all did it. He got caught. He was a black man. He was under surveillance. There were prosecutors who just wanted to get Chuck Berry. I'm not defending his actions, but I'm just telling you there's a lot more of this stuff that goes on in the entertainment business and the sports world than anybody's ever going to know about. And sometimes you just got really good lawyers. Sometimes you pay people off. Sometimes it's a combination of both. And sometimes guys just get away with it because they're white. And the prosecutors aren't really interested. And this was the 1950s and 1960s, by the way, and things were different back then. And by the way, if you're going to jump on Chuck Berry, then you've got to take down the Johnny Cash statues, and it just goes on and on from there. So, anyhow. those little boxes that are on your TV and also your DVRs, particularly the high def DVRs, are sucking the electricity out of your house. How much so? There's about 50 million of these, 160 million of these things all over the place. One high definition DVR and one high def cable box uses an average of 446 kilowatt hours a year. That's about 10% more than a 21 cubic foot energy efficient refrigerator. Because these things never really go off. Even when you turn them off, they're still on, draining an awful lot of electricity. Cisco Systems, people who make a lot of these things, said out in California they were in front of some sort of congressional subcommittee or something, and somebody said, how come you don't make these things more energy efficient? And the answer from the industry was, nobody asked us to. After the Brady Bunch was on the air, and then Robert Reed died from HIV/AIDS, and people started to figure out maybe things were not all rosy and pretty and all American and flag waving and apple pie as the television series would like to portray. Well, it turns out now that Florence Henderson, Mrs. Brady, has a new book coming out in September, and she says that she got the crabs from the mayor of New York City, John Lindsay, back in, what year was this? In the 1960s, that's all she says. She made a quick trip to the doctor. John Lindsay sent her flowers trying to smooth the whole thing over. She doesn't say whether she ever told, she was married at the time, by the way. She said she was lonely. She's 77 years old right now and spilling her guts. I don't know if you saw this videotape from Rochester, New York. These cops arresting some guy. There's a woman standing on her own property behind a chain link fence taking video of all this thing as it was going down. Cops didn't like it. Cops jumped the fence, came over and said that they were harassing her, that she was harassing them rather, and she was brought up on charges. So last Thursday, there was a rally to support this woman because a lot of people were like, hey, wait a minute. I'm a law and order guy, by the way. But, there are bad cops, just like there are bad disc jockeys and bad radio personalities and bad sports figures and bad writers and bad bricklayers and whatever. So they have a rally last Thursday to support this woman, and the Rochester police responded by using rulers to measure how far each car was parked from the curb, and they ticketed a bunch of people who were more than 12 inches away from the curb. Bad things going on in Rochester. Bad things going on Jerry Seinfeld's TV show, The Marriage Ref. Some guy and his wife were on. They said the producers really pumped them up. The woman started getting a big head, started getting Botox, ran off with some director from a TV show. Guy says these shows are not what they appear to be. Really? Just when you think the TSA couldn't go any further, maybe they've defined rock bottom here. People were outraged that TSA agents in Destin, Florida recently made a 95-year-old woman with leukemia remove her adult diapers during a search. And according to a new study by Virginia Tech University, texting and driving increases your chance of having an accident by 23 times. If you're drunk, it only increases your chance of an accident by 11 times. The glamour of flying, back to that TSA story, is apparently worn off. New data from the American Consumer Satisfaction Index. Airlines carry the lowest score of all, lower than restaurants, hotels, the Postal Service, and the IRS. Remember Michelle Salahi? As a matter of fact, I'm not going to do this story because why? What do we got here? JC's eye candy today. Michelle Salahi, or Mikhail, or whatever her name is. Howie Mandel looks like he's got a different television show on every night of the week lately. Back in the 1980s, I emceed a lot of Howie Mandel shows, most of them at the Westport Playhouse, which sits right below where Trish Gazelle and I do the showgram every day on the big 550 KTRS. We're on from noon until 3 every day. I found this old Howie Mandel picture. Howie Mandel used to be a carpet salesman in Toronto. Did stand-up comedy one night, one of those open mic nights, as a dare, basically. And it was a very funny picture that I'm putting up here. Howie has an inscription, a little caption that he's written on the picture. You can check that out. That's on Eye Candy right now, and we'll give you lots of eye candy all the time. And we update it every day, and we put it into the archives. You can look at the old ones. And don't forget to respond to our rock and roll poll, which today is the thought-provoking proposition: would you rather be buried up to your neck in sand, have your head shaved and painted like a soccer ball, Or would you like to have your eyelids stretched out, then punch with a paper punch? Okay, so do that. And don't forget, details on my garage sale, no joke, right here at the house. I'll explain why I'm inviting people to my house for a garage sale on Thursday. All right, that's it. JC's Daily Dose for Monday, the 27th of June, 2011, a combined venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. In the meantime, we've beaten this one to death. Have a good one. See you later. Bye.